In this video, we are going to apply the triangular law of vector to this question. And the question reads, X, Y, Z is any triangle where P lies on XY such that XP is a quarter XY. So if it's a quarter, it means it's divided into 4. So here I'll divide it up into 4 equal parts. So this is a quarter, a quarter, a quarter, a quarter. All right, always good to write it in, kind of help to guide you. Next it says Q, right here, lies on YZ such that QZ, right here, is 1/3 YZ. That means YZ is divided into 3 equal parts. So here is 1/3, here is 1/3, here is 1/3. And then last but not least, it says R, which is right here, lies on XZ such that RX is a half ZX. Half ZX. So I'm going to write in half. Right here is a half. And right here is a half. So it's divided into 2. This line is divided into 2, this into 4, and this into 3. All right. Further, the question says, if vector xy, so it starts with x, end with y, it means it's going in this direction. When going that direction, A is positive. And then it says, and xz, vector xz, start at x, end at z. So it means it's going in this direction. And then B is positive. As you should remember, that vectors, you need to know 4 things: magnitude, direction, starting point, ending point. Once you know those 4 things, you're able to solve vectors with ease. So I took the liberty to write down the 2 vectors. And then there are a number of things that we need to find. The question says, write the following vectors in terms of A and B. The first one we need to find is vector YZ. Vector YZ. So that means you start with Y, end with Z. So this is YZ. So I'm going to put in my double arrow. And I do this because when I put in the resultant, I know I'm going this direction. So YZ is going anti-clockwise direction. So to calculate the magnitude of vector YZ, we have to go clockwise in the opposite direction. And it makes sense because if we're starting with Y and end with Z, it means the first vector must start with a Y. So YX is the first vector. Vector YX plus XZ. XZ. So we start with Y, end with Z. All right. What is vector YX equal to? Was that given? No, but what was given is XY is A. So YX would be negative A because it went opposite direction. So it's the inverse. Minus A. And then what was given is XZ. So XZ is equal to B. So it's minus A plus B. Or you could write it as B minus A. That's it. Easy cheesy. So I went ahead and I write down the answer for vector YZ. it's b minus a. Now we're asked to find qz. Qz is going in the same direction, but q is 1/3. Qz is 1/3 of yz. So let's solve that one. Qz is 1/3 of yz. And we know what yz is equal to. Yz is equal to b minus a. So it's 1/3 b minus a, which is the same thing as 1/3 b minus 1/3 a. Easy cheesy. Next, we're asked to find xq, vector xq. I always like to put in the broken lines to give me an idea what the resultant is. So I'm going to put in my double arrow. So in relation to this little triangle, it's going in anti-clockwise direction. So we have to go in clockwise direction to calculate it. So it's going to be x to z, z to q. Okay, so vector x to z plus z to q. Start with x, end with q. So xz is b. Now, what is zq? We know that qz is 1/3 b minus a, but it has changed direction, so it's zq. So zq, instead of putting plus 1/3, we're going to put minus 1/3 b minus a. And then we expand the bracket. So write down the b first. Minus 3 times b give us minus 1/3 b. Minus 1/3 times minus is going to give you a positive 1/3 a. So I'm going to put the a in front since it's positive. 1/3 a. And what we're left is plus b minus 1/3 b. And of course, I'm sure you know your fraction. 1/3 from a whole, because this is implicit 1 in front of the b. So 1/3 from 1 give you 2/3. So it's going to be 1/3 a plus 2/3 b. 1/3 a plus 2/3 b. All right, that's it. And we will open another video to calculate 3 more vectors.